Good evening. My name is Joshua Sutton, and I am here to do my oral presentation for my final exam for English 231 Rebecca Quadere's class. I chose to do my final exam essay on Anne Bradstreet's To My Dear Children. I first read this back when we did the Puritan faith, and I remember doing an essay on defending the Puritan faith that Anne Bradstreet wrote strongly about. In researching and doing the second form of the paper for the final exam, I looked into how the Puritan faith really is a major part of the poem, but in reading it the second time, I realized that Anne Bradstreet not only had faith in that, but she had faith in herself, and I feel like that was a very big thing to have back then because she overcame so much. And I feel like she really expressed that to her children, that they needed to have faith in themselves and push on and keep focusing and moving towards their goals. Which is why, when reading it the second time, I felt like it was a very big influential piece that should be a required reading, because I feel like a lot of college students going back to school, whether they be an older adult or just coming out of high school and going into school, I feel like they face a lot of uncertainties that Bradstreet and her fellow peers did when the New World started. That being said, I really think it was very, very good that she shows how much faith she needed to have to overcome so much that was going on. And I feel like a lot of students struggle with that when they're first starting out with so many majors to choose from, whether they're going to go part-time or full-time, the lengths of programs, how the nursing program is 19 months, or if they're going to choose to do something else. And there's a lot of electives, and it's a lot of hard work, and it's something that they have to push through. Which is why I feel like with the Anne Bradstreet's To My Dear Children, she shows so much of how you need to prepare yourself and to not let anything get you down and to keep working towards your goals. And I feel like the biggest thing that a lot of people will probably have with when they think about this is, a lot of people are a little touchy about religion, and, they're going to be looking and saying, well, it's Puritan faith. She's looking towards, why is God making them suffer? But I feel like that is part of the essay, but the biggest part that she pulls through when I was reading it the second time around was how much the faith came from within, how much she showed belief in herself. And I feel like that's a big part in a lot of generation today, not really willing to go that extra mile to prove or to do something that, is almost blocking you and preventing you from moving on. And I really would like to give a lot of credit to Anne Bradstreet in this poem, because she shows so much influential character in how one can be a better person and push on and make something of themselves. So in conclusion, I really feel like Anne Bradstreet shows a lot of faith that I think is lagging sometimes in some people, that belief in themselves that they can push on and do something with their life. So I feel like it would be a very, very good influential read to any college students, either starting out or possibly in the middle of their career, just to give them that extra oomph to get done with what they need to do. So I hope you have enjoyed this oral presentation and realize that the Puritan faith of Anne Bradstreet really dug deep and came from within herself. And if you have any questions, I'll take them at this time, and thank you and have a good night.